everyone, and welcome to the ARS round 3 of the GT3 Sprint Cup here at Hockenheim. We only have about 2 more minutes left of qualifying. We are heading into this pair of 40-minute races here, and we've got Ollie Hutton here at the top of the timing tables, or apologies, we have Adam Lyle at the top of the timing tables. We've had a bit of a difficulty there with Ollie Hutton going around 10.2 seconds quicker than anybody else there due to a little bit of an issue. But yeah, Adam Lyle sitting pretty at the very top there, about 8/10 or so ahead of Josh Nesbitt. Ben RS in fourth, hanging out in the pits there, only a couple of tenths back from Josh Nesbitt. Arno Behrman fifth, Matt Raid in sixth, Rick Corvers, Noah Bates, Matt Luding, and Cisco Sewell in 10th, rounding it out there. And then we've got 11th Max at the moment. Kevin Budgeon has not set a time, it seems. Ollie Smith and Matt House 13th, 14th in the pits as well. And Callum Harris at the back there, 4/10 off of Matt House. As we have a look here at Adam Lyle, who is quite close to his fastest first sector. Now we're having a look at Max there, a little bit over track limits. But again, yeah, almost to the end of this qualifying session here. 12 hours we have here at the ARS to set your fastest time. So plenty of time on a Sunday to hop in, put your times in. But as we can see, everybody really wanting to make a good impression here at the front of the pack. Again, 40-minute races, a good amount of time to kind of settle in, and we'll have mandatory pit stops as well. But we've got, looks like we're going to have 14 racers total for this evening. And if you're just joining us here, having a look here at Rick Corvers going green in that middle sector there. He's only about 2/10 off of the 104.4 best of the second sector there. Very wide there. Looks like making sure that we're using all the track and then some. So we head into the stadium section in that lovely Red Bull livery 296 Ferrari. Pitch black, as you can obviously see. And qualifying has come to a close now. So any driver that's very deep, because this is the 777 Aston Martin, that's Max in 11th. The time is now done, or the timer is now done. We are going to have any flying laps currently counting. So that is Matt Raid on a flyer at the moment. It looks like Kevin Budgeon's also on a flyer. This is going to be his only lap if he can get it around. And Max as well on a 143.4. So he's got a handful of seconds to make up on the top 10. So around the final corner goes Kevin Budgeon to set that time. Having a look here at Matt Raid here, about to head through the sweepers, which I'm sure is not the most most fun there through the sweeper at night. And now heading around, looks like Max is going to be setting his lap time here in just a moment as he comes around the final. Or actually, it looks like he's going to pit. So Max is head into the pit. Looks like we only have one more flying lap to do, and that will be Matt Raid. He's pushing that Coca-Cola number 10 quite hard as he heads into the stadium section here. And now we'll just have a look at my timings here. And there we are, Matt Raid around the final corner. It looks like Rick Corvers is also on another flying lap, unless he's coming into the pits here. I believe he should be pitting in a moment. I don't think he got across the line in time. But again, yeah, 14 drivers here this evening as Matt Ray pulls it over to head into the pit lane. And it looks like Adam Lyle is going to be taking pole position. Adam Lyle impervious through 3 rounds of qualifying, unless Rick Corvers has something, and he's going to come to the pits. I believe he did not get across the line. Adam Lyle, bulletproof. 3 rounds, 3 qualifyings, 3 poles. So congratulations to him. Josh Nesbitt 3rd, Ben RS 4th, Matt Raid in 5th. 6th is Rick Corvers, Noah Bates in 7th, Max Luding in 8th, Cisco Sewell in apologies. Yes, my race director is letting me know that Ollie Hutton is going to have that lap time deleted, so they will get Hutton put into his proper spot. So provisional results, Adam Lyle 1st, Josh Nesbitt 2nd, Ben RS in 3rd, Matt Raid joining him on the 2nd row in 4th, Rick Corvers, Noah Bates, Max Luding in 7th, 8th, Cisco Sewell, and Kevin Budgeon 9th, and Max will be in 10th. and we will go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back with an interview with Adam Lyle.
Two, one.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the ARS Round 3 with the GT3 Sprint Cup here at Hockenheim. I am joined in the commentary box by Adam Lyle, the pole sitter for today's pair of races. Adam, how was it out there?
Yeah, it was quite good. Bit different doing it in the dark when I've not practiced that, but it seemed to work out well.
Yeah, the 12-hour qualifying seemed to genuinely be 12 hours because it appeared to be just around midnight or so. Were there any surprises in the dark? Anything that was a little trickier, particularly certain corners?
Tire temperatures, obviously, it was completely different. So I was in and out of the pits, obviously having to keep tweaking them to match it. But eventually, I must have got it right, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yep, bulletproof through 3 rounds. How did that feel?
You what? Sorry.
I was bulletproof through 3 rounds. How does that feel?
Yeah, good. But Kevin's back now. Ollie's back, so it should be a good battle this week.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to it. Again, big congratulations, and we're looking forward to these 2 races.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Adam, for joining us here. We are about to get underway. We've got all the cars gridded up. We will have a single formation lap. The Alfa Romeo Giulia safety car will come around in just a moment, and we will get started on this formation lap. But first, a little bit about the ARS. So you are having a look at the Authentic Racing E-Series GT3 Sprint Cup. This is round 3 at Hockenheim. We've gone to Brands Hatch and Misano previously. The Authentic Racing E-Series was founded by racers for racers, and we cater to real motorsport fans who appreciate structure, rules, and regulations, as well as sim racers looking for a more disciplined but enjoyable racing environment. Our approach is fun but serious, offering an immersive and competitive experience without sacrificing the camaraderie that makes racing truly enjoyable. Whether you're an experienced driver or you're taking your first steps into competitive racing, our leagues provide a fair and supportive environment for all skill levels. From all of us at ARS, we thank each and every one of you that take your time to help us grow our vision. All right, we're set to have a quite action-packed pair of races here. Again, Ollie Hutton up at the front, but that will be adjusted momentarily as we'll have a look back through the rundown for the upcoming race. Hockenheim, we're running the current layout. Obviously, back in the day, 70s, 80s, they would run way back into the German hills, way back into the woods. And the track, I believe, around a third of that length. So pretty wild to see, even with a track of this size, that it's nowhere near what the drivers had to go through back in the day. As we have the pace car bringing us around, or the safety car, apologies, bringing us around here through turn 1. And of course, the drivers will get a chance to weave as we have a look at Matt Ray here, the number 10 Coca-Cola in that BMW Evo with the sizable nostrils there. Matt Ray in 5th place here. So Adam Lyle on pole alongside her. Let's go reverse. Max in 14th shows Ollie Hutton Ollie Hutton 14th, Max 13th alongside there. And then Kevin Budgeon and Matt House there on row 6. Row 5, Siskel Sewell and Max Luding alongside him. Row 4 is Noah Bates. Arno Verman was starting alongside him. Row 3, Rick Corvers. Matt Ray just a little ahead of him. Ollie Smith and Ben RS just missed out on the top, the front row rather. And Josh Nesbitt alongside our pole sitter Adam Lyle in the 27 Heart of Racing Aston Martin. And the drivers are coming down the front straight, down to the hairpin. Fantastic opportunity for overtaking, especially to get a really good run out of 2 and 3, that kind of tricky complex. Lots of different lines through that first sector. So the main braking zone at the very beginning is going to be that turn 2 right-hander. The left-hander of 3 heading all the way toward that as we head down the back straight now and in through the sweeper. Also, another good overtaking opportunity coming past that sweeper and down to this left-hander. So we have a look at Ollie Hutton there, setting that 10-second time differential up at the front there. Ollie Hutton, quite a good racer, and we should expect him to potentially make a couple moves, especially at the beginning of the race. And he seems to have some good confidence, some strong pace as we see the vehicles weaving and trying to get some tire temp. We had a couple of people complaining about the tire temps potentially because of the lateness of the qualifying session. And we are now heading into the stadium section here to see the 777 of Max here, starting alongside Ollie at the less sharp end of the field. Kevin Budgeon, of course, up in front of him in the BMW. And we are now about to come through this section here. Last couple of corners, the safety car will pull in. Alpha will leave us, and we will come around for the beginning of this 40-minute race. Safety car is in. As we await the start, they're bunched up, coming up to the front. A little bit of contact there, and they are off. And looks like Adam Lyle goes nowhere. He is still in the running as the Skechers number 46 That is Ben RS around the outside. He's gone off the track. Josh Nesbitt has a drive-through for jump start potentially. We'll have to have a look at this as the Audi's plummeting. Ben RS plummeting down. Josh Nesbitt in the lead. Matt Raid second. Adam Lyle third. Rick Corvers fourth. Ollie Smith sixth or fifth. Apologies. Siskel Sewell in sixth place now at the moment as they all head down the front straight. Audis side by side. Ollie Hutton already making up spots, already up to 11th. But again, big story. Josh Nesbitt up into the lead. Matt Ray getting through as well. Adam Lyle dropping to third. They all seem to be right up next to each other as we have a look at the pack here, this 6-car group as the number 46, Kevin Budgeon going very deep, or apologies, not Kevin Budgeon, going very, very deep there as we are having a look here at Kevin Budgeon with this 3-car battle here, or 4-car, excuse me, BMW as we're looking at Max here in 14th place. He's 10 seconds back. I believe he has either been spun around or has had an issue. He has really fallen off. It is not looking good for him at the moment. As we come around, leaders heading into the stadium section here, the 777 of Max, we're still having a look at. And now we're looking at Ollie Smith here. This is Rick Corvers all over the back in that 296 Ferrari. It looks like there's a little bit of a gap there. Smith falling back a little bit in that number 9 Mercedes. Josh Nesbitt still leading the way. Adam Lyle getting around Matt Ray. So Adam Lyle back up into second. Only about a second and a half. Only about a second, apologies, behind Josh Nesbitt. And it looks like Josh Nesbitt has come into the pit lane. Adam Lyle, fastest lap of the race, and takes the lead again. Matt Ray only a second behind Ollie Smith, a couple of seconds behind him. Or apologies, only 1 second. So there's second gaps between first and second and third. So we have a look again, Josh Nesbitt with that drive-through penalty. Now having a look at Kevin Budgeon in BMW trying to chase down the pair of Audis in front of him. That's Ben RS and Matt House in front in the KFC Audi livery. As we come down the front straight here, leaders heading into the tightest corner, slowest corner on the track. It's almost a 180 degree as the 296 goes very deep. It's Rick Corvers trying to have a look at Ollie Smith around the outside. Losing a little bit of time there, a little bit of understeer. And it looks like Adam Lyle had pulled another half a second on this half a lap alone on Matt Raid. Adam Lyle trying to make up for that. And here he is. We're having a look here at that beautiful heart of racing Aston Martin, number 27. Looks like he is trying to check himself out here, build a decent gap. Matt Raid also building a little bit of a gap over Ollie Smith. He's got that a little over a second. They were about half a second. Few corners back, and we're having a look here at Ollie Hutton making his way through the field. He's a man on a mission, currently in 6th place, and I'm assuming he's going to be wanting even more, especially in these early stages when all the cars are bunched up. Ben RS right behind him in the Skechers Audi number 46. As we head through, and it looks like is that Adam Lyle in the pits. Matt Raid sets the fastest lap of the race. We'll have to get a look at that here in just a bit. We're having a look here at Max Luding in 13th. He is have a really, really rough start. Oh, here we go. Adam Lyle drive-through taken as Matt Raid gets back up to the lead there. Ollie Smith in second, Rick Corvers third in that 296 Ferrari. Sewell in fourth. Ollie Hutton making up spots. He's up to fifth thanks to those drive-throughs. And again, mandatory pit stop for I believe it's at least 1 liter of fuel and potentially or a tire change. And of course, the drive-through I believe should not count. Oh, as we have the 46 sketch, that's Ben RS and Ollie Hutton getting together. The number 60 Mercedes. And it looks like there may be some potential rear suspension damage. Looks like they've gotten back going, but and it looks like Hutton is in front of Ben RS as well. So it looks like Ben has given him any advantage that he's taken as the Red Bull, the number 69 296, and now we have Sewell and Corvers going right next to each other here. BMW around the outside, potentially going into the state detection. I think he's going to have to back off. Oh, no, he's not. He's not going to back off one bit. He's going to have a little bit of front rear contact there. As we're having a look at Ollie Hutton now, who's trying to recover from that moment as Ben RS goes wide a little bit in the background. My goodness, all sorts of stuff. All right, coming across the line here, Matt Raid. Ollie Smith in second place, Rick Corvers in third in a very big scrap here with Sewell as Matt Raid again lowering that benchmark. The last lap of 139.178 looks to be the quickest lap. It is the quickest lap of the race, but it looks to be significantly faster than others. As Josh Nesbitt 138.3, so he has dropped another 8 tenths of a second, maybe more. 8 tenths of a second. Josh Nesbitt is really on the move, putting in a very strong, very strong pace, if not his positioning here. So Matt Raid out front, Ollie Smith in second, Rick Corvers and Sewell are very close as well. Looks like Ollie Smith is catching up to Matt Raid. There's only about a second and a half between them, and it looks like the front two have really broken away. Let's have a look back through here. Ben ARS with a purple middle sector. So we head down the back straight there. Looks like an Aston Martin, or excuse me, apologies, looks like a Mercedes going off in the background on the exit of the hairpin. We are having a look at Ollie Smith here. Looks like Matt Raid has turned it up even further, and he's dropping him by a couple of tenths a lap. Ollie Smith chasing after Matt Raid. These two have firmly checked out now, almost 5 seconds to gap back to Corvers in third, as we have a look here at Arno Veerman. Approaching 30 minutes to go in this race, as the Audi having a look down the inside into the stadium section, thinks better of it, tucks back in behind Noah Bates in that blue and yellow Mercedes. And here we are with Adam Lyle. Oh, goodness me. Adam Lyle, the 27. Oh, and sideways. Great, fantastic save by Madhouse there in the KFC Audi. Big moment of car control that he really needed to keep himself alive in this race. Adam Lyle getting by, a little bit of hargy-bargy, but it appears that Adam's going to be having a look at his next target, which is going to be Ben ARS, only about a second and a half in front. And actually, Kevin Budgeon, Ollie Hutton, and Ben ARS are in a big old scrap for sixth, and I assume Adam Lyle will be catching up here in just a moment. Having a look at Corvers here, again, leading this kind of second to second and a half gap train. Sewell behind him, Nesbitt behind him. About a second and a half or so is the average gap between third, fourth, and fifth. As it appears that, again, the front two have really broken away. Ollie Smith dropping to about 2 seconds behind. So the guys, oh my goodness, all sorts of stuff going on here in the hairpin. Let's see how this shakes out. So we have a look here at Sewell. Had an onboard of Nesbitt there for just a moment. Sewell, last lap at 140.409. A little bit of a difference in pace there between the front runners who are running in that 138, low 139s. But he's doing quite well nonetheless in fourth place, and he has a gap back of over 1 second behind as Nesbitt, Hutton, Lyle, some of the guys who have a bit more confidence and a little bit more pace, it seems, at the moment, as we are on board with Lyle in the picture-in-picture. Exiting the stadium section at the moment. Across the line, Matt Raid, Ollie Smith in second place, Rick Corvers back 5 seconds. And close behind him, Sewell, Nesbitt, Hutton, Ben ARS, Adam Lyle in eighth place, looking to make up spots. He is right behind here as the Skechers 46 is under attack from the 27 Hard Racing Aston Martin. As we head through the first corner there, using all of the curb on the inside, all the curb on the outside, as we head up to a great overtaking opportunity. And it looks like Adam's going to try to take it. He throws a big shape. Can the Skechers car get it stopped? He misses the apex. I think that might have been by design, just kind of showing that Aston Martin in the mirrors for Ben ARS there, trying to get him off his line. And now it's going to be a not necessarily a drag race, but as here we go, the Kevin Estre Porsche down the inside of the BMW. That is Sewell being overtaken by Josh Nesbitt. Is there any response from the BMW Evo as they head up toward the sweeper? Rick Corvers getting away a little bit, but having quite a good scrap. And it looks like Adam Lyle is still behind both Hutton and Ben. We have an Audi and Mercedes going side by side. That's Noah Bates being attacked by Arno Veerman, it seems. It looks like Veerman is down the inside. Veerman getting in front there. Noah Bates, any response? It looks like he's taking a wider entry, tucking in behind, but I don't think he's got anything else for it. Arno Veerman up to 10th place in the top 10 again. As Kevin Budgeon quietly making space. We're having a look here at Ben ARS, sandwiched in between Hutton and Lyle. And deep he goes, and it's going to allow Adam to have the outside of these final two right-handers. I don't think Adam's going to take that invitation. I'm assuming he'll be shoved out as we have a look here at Madhouse. Oh, and we have the Little Molly Audi. That is I believe that's Arno Verman, who's fallen back down to 13th place there. He's 3 and a bit seconds, almost 4 seconds off of the back of Madhouse we're having to look at right now. And Madhouse taking a couple of dings today. As we have the 911 Porsche there on the inside of Corvers. Josh Nesbitt up into 3rd place into the podium positions there, and he really has some strong pace here. Corvers now potentially coming under attack from Sewell. And we have a look here. It's been a lonely, well, not necessarily lonely. Ollie Smith's keeping him company, but only just there as Matt Raid sitting pretty out front at the moment. We have 26 minutes to go here in race 1 of the ARS GT3 Sprint Cup. And having a look at that dark number 10 Coca-Cola BMW Evo for Matt Raid. Seems to be on rails at the moment if he can keep it together. And of course, we have some pit stops coming up here in just a bit. We're having a look now at Noah Bates, who has been passed by Kevin Budgeon just not too long ago. And now we're having a look at Arno Verman, who was luckily able to keep going after having that issue in the approach to the stadium section. Having a look now at Madhouse here. Last lap of 145.8. I believe that was when he was having a couple of issues as well. And it looks like Hockenheim isn't really the bumpiest track that we have, certainly not in this championship and of course not around the world. It appears that there's a lot of rear, well, it looks like a lot of the cars are having quite a softer rear and a stiffer front, it appears, as they head into some of these corners, especially over the bumps through that stadium section. All sorts of curve being taken by Sewell in his pursuit of Rick Corvers. He's looking for, as it looks like Rick Corvers drive through for cutting, so that's gonna, not sure if Sewell knows about that, but Rick just picked up as we have a look here at Max and the 777 Aston Martin, just picked up. So he most likely does not know that Rick has a drive-through. Rick will immediately know, or should immediately know, that he has a drive-through. Rick may not fight this too hard, considering that he's going to need to come into the pits at some point to avoid a harsher penalty there. Oh, and now we have a slowing car. Kevin Budgeon on the front straight. He's off the racing line, which is good, but that is disaster here with 24 minutes to go here in race 1. It looks like he's got going again. I couldn't imagine what is going on. He's taken the racing line there in front of the blue and yellow Mercedes. That is, I believe that's Noah Bates there, the number 10, or apologies, in 10th place. And now Noah Bates up in front of Kevin Budgeon. So yeah, again, Kevin Budgeon, something going on with that BMW. We'll have to see if we can see something else. As Arno Verman, another drive-through for cutting. So we were having a lot of drive-throughs, a lot of corner cutting incidents here. So the drivers need to make sure if they have a couple strikes that they need to make sure that they're on the racing line, but not over the inside. Particularly, I've seen turn 1 appears to be something where there's lots of extending on the outside, a lot of not necessarily cutting, but using all the curve available on the inside here. As we have a look now here at Ben RS, who is on the back of Adam Lyle. So Ben RS and Ollie Hutton appearing to kind of be able to stay with Adam. And we're having a look through right now. A lot of the gaps at the front have kind of lowered here. Having a look here at, there we go, Rick Corvers drive-through taken. So Rick brought his Ferrari in for a moment. Very tidy couple of corners there for Noah Bates, who's he's under tons of pressure here from Kevin Budgeon, who was having an issue with his BMW earlier on the front straight. And we'll have to keep an eye on that battle there as they head down toward the hairpin. Meanwhile, way out front here, Matt Raid, 4.5, almost 4.5 seconds on Ollie Smith. Josh Nesbitt making up tons and tons of time there, as it looks like Arno Verman has a drive-through, has taken his drive-through. So that was Arno Verman in 13th there. They'll have to make a couple spots. Here we are, the BMW down the inside, the Mercedes giving him a love tap on the rear, and the 777's licking his chops here. That is Noah Bates. Kevin Budgeon around for 9th place. Matt Luding close in behind. That's going to allow him to potentially have a sniff here of the top 10. As Rick Corvers is now involved in this here. He's only about a 1.5 seconds behind due to that the penalty with the corner cutting and having to come in. Now having a look here. Oh, and the 777's having a look here. Max Looting. Oh, big. Oh, my goodness. Quite a hefty hit directly on the back of Noah Bates. And it looks like Max Looting is through. Kevin Budgeon will be getting away. And it looks like Max Looting has given that back. Fastest lap from Adam Sewell in 5th place, only a second behind Sewell. Or apologies, Adam Lyle, fastest lap of the race there. Sewell is being caught there at a pretty good rate. As we are having a look here at Adam Lyle, Ben RS, Ollie Hutton, and Rick Corvers are coming with them. Or apologies, Ben RS and Ollie Hutton. Rick Corvers, Kevin Budgeon, and Noah Bates and Looting were with them. We had that incident going into the approach for the stadium section, as it looks like Adam making his intentions known, having a look down the inside. They give plenty of space on the exit. It's going to be very compromised from Sewell, who poured some speed in. Adam's going to be able to take a much later apex there, and he's going to have him. He's going to try to have him now on the inside. A little bit of wheel banging, or a little bit of door banging. Adam getting plenty of space on the outside, and sweeps around the outside there of Sewell, who had a poor run out of the hairpin and might be susceptible to Ben RS here in the Audi, the Skechers 46. Adam, we believe, has the stronger pace and may pull away from this pair. So you have a look here at Arno Verman there, last lap 147.9. Arno really having seems like having a tricky time out there with the drive-through, as we see Sewell still sandwiched in between Lyle and Ben RS with that very pale kind of Easter-looking BMW Evo. Having a look through there. Max has a Max drive-through taken there, as we have a couple in the pits here. We have got 6th and 7th place. That's Ben RS and I believe Ollie Hutton. That's right. There we go. Ben RS, Ollie Hutton in the pits. So the first pit stops here with 19, just under 20 minutes to go here. So have a look at Rick Corvers getting all kinds of sideways out of that first corner. He could most likely use some fresh tires with the way that Ferrari's trying to hang on to that Ferrari there. We have a couple more heading into the pits here. That is Matt House heading into the pits. That's Ben RS, Ollie, and Matt House. Or apologies, Ben RS, Hutton, and Matt House have come into the pits. Max Looting will join them there in 13th position. So these guys will most likely cycle out before the leaders get around. We'll have to see. Matt Raid out in front. Ollie Smith keeping him honest. About 4.5 seconds. It's dropped by maybe 3/4 of a second or so, and it's staying fairly consistent. Josh Nesbitt about 2 seconds back from him. And here we go. The Aston Martins side by side, the 777 and the 27. That is Adam Lyle and Max Looting. Max Looting a lap down now. Or apologies, Max in the 777. Apologies. And we've got Adam Lyle coming through. So that was quite a close moment there, as the 777 now comes into the pits. We're picking up Kevin Budgeon here, who seems to be fine. He seems to have recovered after having that issue. We have a stop and go 10-second for speeding, I believe, in the pit lane for Max. So with that approach, a little bit too quick, not quite able to get down to the pit limit speed. We have a couple more pitting here. Rick Corvers in the pits, and Ollie Hutton still in the pits. I have to look and see what's going on there, as we have Noah Bates also in the pits here. Everybody cycling through, picking up fresh tires, potentially a little more fuel. I doubt, especially with only a 40-minute race, it's quite a short stint, so you may or may not see some fuel being added. But again, having Matt Raid really strong, pulling out a second or so on Ollie Smith here since the last time we checked in with him. And yeah, Ollie Smith just joining us in the shot as we head toward the stadium section. Very strong performance so far from Matt Raid. He's really keeping it together, built a really good buffer, about 5.5 seconds, and he really is looking to class the field at the moment. Ollie Smith in second place, keeping him honest, but Matt putting on quite a good performance. Josh Nesbitt in third, making up tons and tons of places in the opening stages, and Adam Lyle falling back from the beginning and making its way back up as we see Ollie Smith into the pits. And we will have a look at where he cycles out. The 911 heads on through. That is second place. That is Josh Nesbitt. As we have a look here at him, average pit time here, about a 32 second pit. So quite the long pit stop. You wouldn't want to need to make two, of course, in a race as short as this. And it looks like we also have Matt Ray coming up to the back of 10th and 11th. That's Noah Bates and Madhouse. So we will have a couple of moments of lapping here in the not too distant future. As fourth place, Kevin Budgeon in the pits, Ollie Smith in the pits, Adam Lyle in the pits as well. As we have a look here at Rick Corver's kind of at the moment in no man's land here. He's got plenty of free open air, and be glad to be on fresher tires here. We have a look now at Max Luding, who's a lap down. He's had a pretty, I was going to say up and downs, but a lot of it's been not really going his way, as we see in the background there. We see in the background there the third place Sewalt. And now back with Rick Corvers here. Last lap, obviously, about 30 seconds down or so. The 2:22.8, not very representative. All righty, we'll have a look now here. We've got Matt Raid now in the pits. So Matt Raid comes into the pits. Josh Nesbitt inherits first in the 992 Porsche, or in the 911 Porsche. Apologies. Yeah, so Matt Raid in the pits, Sewell in the pits, Adam Lyle fourth, Ollie Smith fifth, and that will move Sewell up into second at the moment, only because of the pit boxes. I believe that they have overlapping pit boxes there. Best lap of the race at the moment, a 1:39.7 by Ollie Hutton in the Mercedes. So we're having a look now here at Arno Verman. And now we're having a look back to Max at the moment. But out front, Josh Nesbitt, Matt Raid in second, Adam Lyle third, Ollie Smith as we have the 777 going a little bit wide there. Max having some difficulty with that corner in particular, trying to get it slowed down after the sweeper. I believe his brakes should be cooled off by the time he gets to that sweeper, but it could be just a bit of difficulty with kind of getting the best out of that Aston Martin. As we see Josh Nesbitt here, last lap of 1:40.0. Not the fastest that we've seen, but it's currently holding him holding pretty well. Matt Raid second place, Adam Lyle up to third on that podium spot, Ollie Smith fourth, Ben RS in fifth, sixth is Sewalt, Corvers, Budgeon, Bates, and Verman still in the top 10. He's had his ups and downs, Verman has, and his battles as well. As we see the 296, that's Rick Corver's Ferrari going a little bit wide there. And of course, with Kevin Budgeon having an issue with his vehicle down the front straight, we're glad to see that he's doing well. Having a look here at Adam Lyle, Mercedes back behind there, Ollie Smith and Ben RS going at it for fourth and fifth. Quite a close battle here. There's the Mercedes as we head into the stadium section. Taking that wide line by the Mercedes, the Audi really opting for that low line deep into that section. It seems like it's paying off there. The Audi really hunting him down. Ben RS maybe looking for a move here as we have Verman getting close to Bates for 9th place. And it looks like we're going to be not quite close enough there for Ben RS there on Ollie Smith. But again, less than half a second. They are quite close together, and I believe that a move will be coming here in the not too distant future. Very wide moment there. Oh, almost losing the rear end there for the 911 there. The Kevin Estre livery. Oh, all sorts. Oh, and the spin for the leader. Josh Nesbitt goes around I can't confirm if he's gone into the pits yet or not. I would assume that he has, but I need to have a look at that. We're having a look at Adam Lyle here, directly behind Ollie Smith and Ben RS, quite close together. Ollie still, or Smith has the better of him for now, but Ben seems to have a lot more confidence, a lot more pace in that car, and he's able to, at least for the front, as Josh Nesbitt now finally comes into the pit lane, trying to get those tires to work. Having some difficulty with the rears in particular. The Porsche, of course, having that kind of rear engine placement there, and we are resuming hostilities here. The Mercedes and Audi. As Arno Veerman drive through for cutting, I believe that's at least his second drive through. That really is going to hamper his ability to make up any places as the field is relatively spread out. There's a couple of pairs there on board here with Kevin Budgeon on the bottom left. And we are having a look here. I believe that is Arno Veerman on our screen. Arno running that Liqui Moly Audi as he heads into the stadium section there. And Max Luding, a 141.379. I believe that's one of the faster laps that he sent. Ben RS running a 139.3, which is currently not enough to unseat Ollie Smith at the moment. Josh Nesbitt now back to third and right up behind Adam Lyle. Now this is for position, or not necessarily, it's all for position, but that is a interesting battle there as there's only about half a second in it. And it looks like, has he got him? On my timing screen, it's showing 1 second. Looks like Lyle has gotten by, so that's Josh Nesbitt having a look at the back of Adam Lyle, who is trying to make up ground there and will, with 10 minutes to go, has got 12 seconds. That's quite a tall order. Making up 12 seconds in 10 minutes on Matt Raid, but Lyle does seem to be, if anybody, to have that type of pace as Arno Veerman takes his drive through there. Matt Raid out front. Adam Lyle trying to chase him down. We have Max, who's going to be in between them, but Max should be getting blue flags eventually as Lyle catches. Nesbitt very close behind. It looks like this Lyle-Nesbitt battle is not done. And Ben RS and Ollie Smith are still very, very close together. Having a look here at Max as well. Apologies, there we are with Max and the 777. All right, intervals. Max Raid with just under 10 minutes to go here. Oh, excuse me, as we have the Sketchy 46, that is Ben RS having a look at Ollie Smith. Looks like he might have given him a bit of a breather here. Looks like Ollie Smith may have a couple of corners where he's not going to be hounded too hard. Might be able to get back into his normal rhythm and potentially pull away here, as we have second and third lapping the 777 as Kevin Budgeon takes his drive-through penalty. Again, lots of track limits, and drivers are really going to have to look out for that, especially if you're in a battle and you're wanting to extend a little bit, get a little bit more lap time, trying to get a better exit or a wider entry to get the corner speed a bit higher, but that could cost you, and potentially, especially if there's only about a second or so in it, as around the outside, Adam Lyle, and appreciating the other fellow Aston Martin driver getting out of the way there, Max making it quite easy. And that's Nesbitt down the inside through the stadium section, and he will continue to try to fight back and get up next to Adam Lyle if he can. The gap is coming down at the front there. But Matt Raid, again, really in a strong position. He's from the lights out. He got the lead, and he's been holding it through the pit stops. He has been on a lonely nature hike out there. Not a lot that he's gotten to see, and I'm sure that's the way that he would want it. As we have a look here at Matt Raid out in the front, he's running a 139.3. That's very similar to what Ben RS and Ollie Smith are running, but they are battling. So, assuming that Matt Raid is still comfortable and looking good here with around 7 minutes or so to go in race 1 of the ARS GT3 Sprint Cup, it looks like he's got a bit of margin to play with here. Adam Lyle setting the best lap of the race, 138.179, which I believe was a bit earlier. So we have a look here, number 10th place, Noah Bates. He's got Max Luding for company a handful of seconds behind. And again, yeah, Matt Raid, very impressive performance. Adam Lyle taking the win in Brands Hatch, taking the win in Misano, and looking very strong through qualifying with a very large margin of pole position. Looking very strong. Started on pole, of course, and Matt Raid has said, no, thank you. I would prefer to take home the points today. Having a look here at Madhouse. Madhouse, quite a quiet race. I think we had a little bit of a side-by-side moment between him and Adam Lyle, but Madhouse running in 9th in the top 10. Decent as we have Ollie Smith drive through for cutting. Ollie Smith and Ben RS together. Ben RS is now up into 4th position. And potentially there was that may have been happening during a battle. So we have a look at the timings here. And now Nesbitt and Lyle again, only a quarter of a second between them. Apologies, that is 1.5 seconds. So they head into the hairpin there. Matt Raid out in front, 10 seconds. So yes, it is dropping. It's gone down about 2 seconds or so. Adam Lau trying to make inroads on him, but again, approaching 5 minutes. It looks like Matt Raid, this is his race to lose at the moment. Adam Lyle having a large comeback. Josh Nesbitt as well coming through the field. Ollie Smith coming through the field as well. As we have a look at Arno Verman here. Last lap 139.2, so only about half a second to about a second a lap difference in the leaders and Arno. So Arno, good pace in the Audi, just not able to convert that into consistent pace, it seems, and it also seems that we are having a large amount of drive-throughs as Adam Lyle, fastest lap of the race, under 10 seconds for the first time that we've seen since the pit stop phase. That's a 138.0. We could potentially, as he continues to try to hunt down Matt Raid with, again, only 4 minutes to go, but I believe we'll have at least one lap after the timer runs down here at the first race of the ARS GT3 Sprint Cup here at Hockenheim. Oh, a little slidey there. Kevin Budgeon, you're not going to get any more tires. He's trying to make these things last here in that BMW GT3 Evo. As we have a look at his fellow BMW driver, Sult, running a 140.2, again, about a second and a half or so off of the pace of the leaders, but running a very strong race there in 5th. He's well in front of Rick Corvers in the Ferrari, and he is looking strong for a decent haul of points there as we have a look here at Max Luding coming out of the final corner there. Looks like he's chasing down Noah Bates. I was going to say Noah's been having kind of a quiet race after that three-way battle he was having earlier on, but it looks like it's going to hot back up here as we have a little bit of a track excursion there from the Mercedes man. Looks like Noah still has it on track, but there's only about a second or so in between them. It's really brought them back in. Bates, Luding, and Verman, all relatively close on track. Oh, as Nesbitt, it looks like he is spun out of the final corner. He's on the front straight. And here we go. We're having a look at him. Yeah, last lap of 149. I'm sure that's correct because Nesbitt drops down to 4th place. Ben RS up into the podium positions with only 2.5 minutes to go. Matt Raid out front, 9 seconds. Adam Lyle's charge does not seem like it's going to work, but he has cleared off of Ben RS, who has Josh Nesbitt behind him. Can Ben RS hang on, as Nesbitt seems to have had stronger pace throughout the entirety of the event? Sewell Sewell does not seem to be able to capitalize on that Nesbitt mistake. But again, yeah, just looping the Porsche, potentially the pendulum effect of the engine being in the rear of that car. But obviously Nesbitt's had the he's had the measure. He and Adam Lyle very similar on pace. Matt Raid also similar on pace. Just really, really consistent out front as you have a look at him here running a 138.603 for his last lap. And it looks like Arno Veerman has gotten around Max Luding for 11th place. But again, we're having a look here at the leader. Only a minute and a half to go. Oh, as we have a three-way fight with the Audi Liqui-Moly with two wheels on the grass. And it looks like that is Noah Bates, Veerman, and Luding as they head down the front straight and towards the hairpin on the far side of the track. Noah Bates trying to hang in there. Adam Lyle down to the 137.9s. He is going for pole position at this point, although he will have pole for the second race as well, as we are approaching 1 minute to go here in this 40-minute race one. Oh my goodness, as we have a vehicle straight on. That was, I believe we might have had a disconnect here. Arno Veerman and Bates potentially having an accident. 10th and 11th they run at the moment. And they are coming out of that left-right chicane and heading into the approach for the stadium section. First, second, third, and fourth all have a handful of seconds. So we have under half a minute to go here. So it looks like we will have one more lap after this, as Matt Raid will not make it across the line before time expires. So Matt Raid out front, Lyle trying to chase him down. It seems to have run out of time, Adam Lyle. Ben ARS behind, and Josh Nesbitt looping the car by mistake on the final corner on the main straight, able to get it back going and is in a strong fourth position, but he will definitely feel, what could have been. That could have been a podium, and Ben ARS sticking with it. We're now into overtime. And Matt Raid out of the final corner. Across the line, Matt Raid, your winner for race one, round 3 here at Hockenheim in the ARS. Adam Lyle, enormous pace, couldn't quite get up to Matt Raid. And Ben ARS, benefiting from that spin from Josh Nesbitt, podium position. Congratulations to him. Nesbitt across the line here in 4th place. Sewell, and it looks like Rick Corvers is being caught by Ollie Smith here right at the end. Max Luding drive through for cutting. And 6th place is still up for grabs here as they come out of the final corner. Hard to see from the rear camera shot. And it looks like Rick Corvers is going to hang on. Ollie Smith in 6th place. Very close finish there. As we have a look here at Max, the 777 here. This race has not gone his way with at least one drive-through. And as we have a look here at Madhouse, in 8th place, leading home Arno Veerman, who will be quite happy with a top 10 finish considering the drive-throughs. And Noah Bates, with Max Luding 0.3 seconds or half a second behind. 10th place is also up for grabs here as Madhouse comes across the line for 8th place. 22nd penalty to finish time for Max as Noah Bates crosses 11th. And that promotes him up to 10th place as Max heads into the pits. Max Luding also into the pits. And my goodness, action-packed here at the ARS GT3 Sprint Cup, round 3 here at Hockenheim. Matt Raid putting on a great performance. Adam Lyle with some serious pace on display. Couldn't convert that into the win with the difficulties at the start. Ben ARS plugging away and in the right place. Good pace from him as well. Good battling from him as well, making sure that he was in a good position. Nesbitt just missing out on that 3rd place that he held onto for so long as Adam Lyle. He and Adam Lyle going side by side for a while for that 2nd place position. Sewell in 5th place. Rick Corvers running a relatively quiet race in 6th, holding his own. Ollie Smith and Madhouse 7th and 8th. 9th, Arno Veerman. Quite an eventful race, but still looking good. And Noah Bates rounding out the top 10. Max Luding and Max in 11th and 12th. rounding out our 12 finishers. We will have race 2 coming up. You thought that this was over. It's not even close to being over. We've got Adam Lyle on pole for the second race here. We'll be getting going in just a bit, but again, drivers heading back to the pits. All sorts of action there. Very action-packed, and tons and tons of track limits. It seems that trying to keep your nose clean is not quite as easy as some of the drivers were hoping for around Hockenheim here. Again, very flat. Very
2, 1.
Hello and welcome back to the ARS GT3 Sprint Cup, round 3 at Hockenheim. I have Matt Ray, the winner of the first race for round 3. And Matt, welcome in. And how was that race for you?
Thank you. Quite lonely, to be honest with you. Not that I can complain, to be honest, but yeah.
I was going to say, I would assume that you would probably not want to see any other cars in the front or rear of your vehicle.
No.
How was that opening stint and the first lap in particular?
I mean, first lap, obviously I managed to capitalize on some driver errors during the outlap, with them getting drive-through penalties. So after that, it was just trying to keep a decent pace and not make too many mistakes, and just not think about the cars approaching behind me. Like Adam, I was seeing he was on a hunt at the end of the race, so I just kept checking the timings, thinking, okay, yeah, just drive forward.
Definitely. So you were really locked in out front, and it really showed. We saw a couple of drivers in particular that were struggling with rear. It appeared to be rear tire wear, considering that they were really kind of hanging the rear out, especially right before we had the pit stops. Were you having any tire wear issues?
Taiwan, no. I managed to extend my first stint a little bit longer than expected. I was hoping to do a longer first, a second stint shorter. Only thing I had problem with was tire temps on my left side. Constantly, by the end of the lap, it was overheating like mad, so it was just trying to manage that. Other than that,
Well,
I had no issues
congratulations
with tires.
again. Oh, apologies.
Thank you very much. Thank you, man.
All right. Well, Adam Lyle has finished second for the first time this season. Brands Hatch and Misano, we had Adam at the top step, and now Matt Raid has joined him in the BMW Evo. Looks like we are getting ready to get this second race started here. Again, 40 minutes, mandatory pit stops, and we'll have to see if the drivers have anything from the first race that they can add to their learnings and try to deploy here in the second race. Particularly with track limits, I would assume, although I haven't spoken to any of the drivers about that, that track limits is going to be much more under control, considering that we had a couple of drivers that were forced to do multiple drive-throughs in the same stint, not even in the same race. So hopefully we'll be able to see some closer action as the drivers are about to get underway here. We'll have the Alpha Giulia coming around in a moment. We'll have Ollie Hutton scooted back to his spot, and Adam Lyle lining up second on the grid, but he will be coming around for, he'll be leading the pack around the final here as the lights are ready to come on, which will mean absolutely nothing to us. It's very exciting though. The lights are coming on, 6 lights, and the Giulia is off. So the Giulia will head around and get us going here in just a moment. There goes Ollie Hutton out of the way. There's Adam Lyle. Gets picked up by the safety car. Got my timing page working much better here. I'll be able to have a look at the gaps and take you through this race 2 here, the ARS GT3 Sprint Cup Round 3 at Hockenheim. So we're having a look here at Ben RS. Ben RS, fantastic racing earlier on in the in race 1, and picking up that podium position. Josh Nesbitt very strong on pace in that Porsche just ahead of him, that Dayglow yellow, but unfortunately having a spin on the front straight or around the final corner and wasn't able to save it, and recovered to 4th place. Strong points, but I'm sure that it's very much the case of what could have been for him. He really was having a look at the podium. It's Ollie Hutton, almost like a carter, almost like a go-kart, wiggling his car back and forth, trying to generate that rear tire temp, trying to get a good launch here. The launch was everything at the beginning of the race for race 1. It seemed that Matt making, as we heard in the interview, making good inroads with some other drivers making some mistakes here. There's Matt House in the Audi KFC. Matt getting that clean air out front, and it seemed like that BMW, at least for him, was good on its tires, as others seem to be struggling, especially with the rears. I would assume the left rears for this clockwise circuit here at Hockenheim. And even one of the longest corners, that long left hand, if you can call it a straight, the front straight, all the way down to the hairpin, it is a long left-hander, but very little tire wear, considering that you are not having a lot of lateral load here as they are getting gridded up, coming around through the stadium, or not, apologies, not through the stadium section, but we have one more straightaway, and then we'll be heading into the stadium section here shortly as we have a look here at Max. Ollie Hutton getting those brakes nice and toasty in a number 60 bright yellow Mercedes. Max having a look here in 12th at the moment in that 777 Aston. And we pick up the leaders here, looking at Ben RS in the Skechers 46 Audi. So it's Lyle from Nesbitt on row 1. Ben RS and Ollie Smith share row 2. Row 3 is Matt Raid, our winner from race 1. Arno Verman in 6th. Corbers, Looting, Sewell, Matt House, Kevin Budgeon, Max, and Ollie Hutton rounding it out as we are around the final corner. And it looks like we are having, we have Arno Verman and Rick Corbers having a bit of a bump there. as we have a green flag racing, and we are underway. Adam Lyle taking the start there. Nesbitt in second place as they head around the final, or apologies, around the first corner. Adam Lyle leading from Nesbitt. Nesbitt having a look on the inside. Lyle is all over that kind of move. Nesbitt potentially all the way around the outside there as Ollie Smith laid on the brakes. Ben RS getting back that position as Nesbitt takes the lead. New leader, Josh Nesbitt, on the inside of 3 as they head down. It's a drag race all the way down the portion, the Aston Martin, to the tightest corner on the track. We'll have to see who's the latest. Oh, they're touching. They're just rubbing. They're rubbing side by side down the inside there. Looks like Adam Lyle's got him covered off the Porsche. Does everything he can on the brakes. Is he going to get him the space on the outside? He is. The Porsche is going to be going around the outside of the sweeper. He's going to have the left-hander. Adam Lyle's going to have to do a lot on the brakes here to keep that Porsche from getting all the way around. It looks like he has cleared him. As he think about a late maneuver, he does not. He's going to have a look at the stadium section a little bit later on in the lap. Ben RS holding third from Ollie Smith. A huge move around the outside, late on the brakes. Potentially overhooked it as we have a drive-through for cutting for Max Luding. Again, a couple of issues with track limits at the moment. We have a look at Ollie Smith here, the number 9, blue and white. As the lights come on here, it's a little bit darker, a little bit later in the evening here at Hockenheim, this GT3 Sprint Cup for ARS. We're looking at round 3. And it looks like everybody is line astern at the moment. Josh Nesbitt leading from Adam Lyle. Quite a good start for Nesbitt. Only took him a couple of moments to kind of size Lyle up. Great run out of the final phase of that hairpin on the far side of the track. As we have a look now at Sewell down in 10th place there. Nesbitt, none surprisingly, fastest lap of the race because of leading around the first lap there. Nesbitt in the lead, Lyle in second, Ben RS third, Ollie Smith fourth. As we have a look at Sewell, Max Luding is taking that drive-through now, so that has dropped him back. And looks like Ollie Hutton is also quite a ways behind the. Oh, here we go. As the 46 behind the 27. This is for second place. A big move potentially happening here. Lyle covering that inside line as much as he can. The Audi laid on the brakes. Is the 27 going to give him space on the outside? It looks like he is. That may be a mistake as the Porsche was able to do this maneuver. Not able to get the grunt he needs Lyle out of that hairpin corner, and it looks like it's going to cost him. Oh, apologies. He's going to get him on the inside of that sweeper, so not letting it happen again. Lyle holding his own. Ben RS right behind, and this battle is going to bring Ollie Smith right up to the back of him. The number 9 having oh my goodness, off the curb there. Did not seem intentional there from the as the light is fading here. The Mercedes spitting the flames out of the side exhaust. A fantastic sight to see as the sun's starting to set. Ollie Smith here. They're running 141.7, significantly slower than we saw in the first race. But again, he's got not necessarily traffic. He's got company in front and behind. A much more measured and composed start to this race. Josh Nesbitt, another fast lap. He's pulling away at the front here as we have. Man, 7 minutes have already gone by. Oh my goodness, as we have a spin. Not able to save it. Skechers 46 going around. Ben RS. Everybody through quarters almost getting collected. Massive wreck there. And that is going to be, and all our drivers hopefully are going to be able to get around as the KFC, that's Madhouse at the first corner. Ollie Hutton able to get around there in the 60 Mercedes. But it looks like out front, Nesbitt is pulling away. Lyle trying to hang in there. Ollie Smith in third. Matt Raid fourth. Rick Corvers inherits fifth. Veerman up to sixth. Veerman doing quite well, making up a good amount of space there. Kevin Budgeon hanging in there. Ben RS down to 9th place. That was not the ideal. And of course, he's also spun around, not necessarily at the hairpin, but at one of the faster parts of the track, that first kind of side straight before turn 2. And everybody getting through cleanly, which is the main hope for everybody. As we pick up Sewell and Kevin Budgeon, the two BMW guys, the two BMW drivers. Arno Veerman in front. Looks like Budgeon has made his intent known to Veerman. This may be happening here in just a moment. Again, Veerman running quite well. Way over the curve there for the Liqui Audi. As we have a look back to Max. A little bit of a front lock up there. Max getting out of the corner decently well, running in third. Max Luding in 12th, running a 1:48.5 is Josh Nesbitt, fastest lap. And as I said, Adam Lyle, second place, 1:38.3. So we're back to the pace that we were seeing near the end of race 1. So you have a look at Rick Corvers coming through here, very generous over the curbs there. Around 1 second between Nesbitt and Lyle. Ollie Smith, 2.5 seconds back of that. Matt Raid, 0.8. As we have we have a little bit of contact. Veerman and Kevin Budgeon fighting it out there on the front straight. Looks like Veerman's going to take the shorter line, and Budgeon's going to have the higher top speed. Is the BMW going to out-grunt the Audi as we come into the brakes? Who's going to be a little bit later? We won't be able to tell. I look on my timing screen, and oh my goodness, we have around on the start-finish straight is Max in 13th. Looks like he's able to keep going. I'm not sure if he's got some kind of suspension damage that's causing issues with braking or acceleration, I should say. So we have a look here at Ben RS. Nesbitt in first, Lyle very close behind, trying to catch up, or actually catching up at the moment. We're on board with Veerman and Kevin Budgeon. That battle for 6th place here, as looking at Ben RS here in 10th, or 9th rather. And Madhouse also having a spin at the same time, a different corner, but the first corner and the second corner straight were where both Audis had their spins. So not sure what was causing that. Josh Nesbitt, fastest lap, but Adam Lyle is uninterested in that. He's half a second back and gaining all the time. 30 minutes to go here. 10 minutes have already flown by of this race 2 here at the ARS GT3 Sprint Cup here in Hockenheim. Having a look here at Ollie Hutton, not making nearly as much inroads as he was last time out. Again, pit stop phase. We are probably around 10-15 minutes away from that. So the driver's trying to preserve their tires and ensure that they, well, I say preserve tires, but I don't think Adam Lyle has any intention of preserving anything. I think he wants to preserve his pole position into a race lead. Josh Nesbitt is ruining his party at the moment, as we can see the shine off the track from the dimming light here in Hockenheim. And oh my goodness, it just looks like Nesbitt's body language is very, very wide. Looks like the body language is more trying to make sure that he's got the car under control, but in doing so, it's allowing Lyle to just take cleaner entrances. Oh, and he hangs it out there. Smelling blood in the water is Adam Lyle, potentially lining up for a move on the start-finish straight. We'll have to see how these last couple of corners go. But the battle for the lead is well and truly on. He's been as close as he's been since being overtaken by Nesbitt. Lyle wants his crown right back, or his race lead at least, right back. And oh, and look, Lyle now getting sideways. These guys, I was just talking about preservation of tires, and I don't think that is what's on their mind. It is the first spot, of course. Ollie Smith 4.5 seconds back from the Matt Raid as we pick him up perfectly. Matt Raid trying to put a move on Ollie Smith. Ollie Smith running very well in third in that number 9 Mercedes-Benz, being chased down by the number 10 Coca-Cola of Matt Raid, winner of race 1. In a pretty commanding fashion, I must say. Rick Corvers a full 1.5 seconds back from that, and Ollie Hutton looks like being caught by Ben RS, who had that spin earlier on. So we've got Nesbitt, Lyle, basically together. Ollie Smith in third, Matt Raid 4th. 5th is Rick Corver, 6th Kevin Budgeon, Arno Veerman in 7th, Siskel Sewell in 8th, Ollie Hutton 9th, Ben RS 10th, Madhouse, Luding, and Max down in 13th. As we have a look here at Corvers, we have an onboard of Lyle there just to keep track. It looks like Nesbitt has gotten the rears to settle down. Perhaps he's got those cooled off. This isn't cooling off. This is heating up here. We've got Luding in front of Madhouse. This is for 11th place, hopefully looking for the top 10, these two drivers, as we only still have the one penalty that has already been served. It looks like the drivers are doing a much better job of not even keeping the car on track, but extending. As I say that, apologies, Max in 13th place has a drive-through for cutting, so he'll need to be serving that. I'm assuming he will peel into the pits as soon as possible, trying to get that out of the way. We are just under 27 minutes to go here in this race number 2 in the GT3 Sprint Cup for the ARS. So we have a look at Looting here. This is, this is Max Looting that is heading into the pits. I believe maybe Max Looting is the one that was picking up the penalty for the corner cutting. Ollie Smith still holding his own, looking for a podium. The front two have checked out, and it looks like Lyle's attacking. Raid is attacking. We're going to have to keep an eye on who's going, as down the inside, Matt Raid for the podium positions. Both have a little bit of a lockup. He's going to leave the space, which is what Adam Lyle was doing at the beginning of the race, which allowed Nesbitt through. He's got the drive, though, unlike the Aston Martin, and the number 9 is staying in front. Oh, and down the inside of the BMW, looking to have that podium spot, not quite. Smith able to hold him off. Raid, again, very, very good racing. High quality, this field, high quality drivers there. All of this battling is bringing that 296 in the 5th position. Rick Corvers bringing him into a potential podium position as Max takes his drive-through penalty. Good to see him serving that. And Lyle is about as close as he's been. It looks like Max has had a bit of a tap there. The race for the lead is 0.4. There's no reason for me to tell you what the gap is. You can see it on your screens right now. A thinner or a shallower line into the corner, looking for a turn 2, lunge on the inside. And oh, look at this. He's done a dummy around the outside. Not going to work, but that's going to compromise the Porsche's exit. And another big moment for Nesbitt, and I think he's going to get it done. Adam Lyle in 27. Heart of Racing Aston Martin hits the front. It looks like he has the pace to potentially extend a lead if Nesbitt cannot respond immediately. And again, big moment there as, we have another Aston Martin on the front straight. And that is Max. He's parked up on one of the escape routes. Max Looting stop and go 10-second for speeding. I'm not sure if we're going to have, here we go, side by side. Down the inside, Max Ray. Looks like the Mercedes again. Ollie Smith able to get a great exit out of that hairpin on the far side of the track as Max Looting takes his drive-through penalty. Having a look now at Arno Veerman. And it looks like Max has gotten going again, which is excellent news to see. The Aston Martin man will continue to make progress there. Ollie Hutton we're picking up now under all sorts of attack from Ben RS here. Ollie Hutton doing a good job in the first race to hang on, and Ben RS with that 3rd place finish. Very, very in the hunt here for more. And Ollie Hutton seems to be the guy seems to be the racer rather that we are going to be. He's going to be checking on on the rear there. And now, yes, this battle for the final podium spot is definitely turning into a 3-horse race. And speaking of horse, the Ferrari joining up here as we have a look at Kevin Budgeon in the pits. I believe we're going to have some pit stops here as we have 23 minutes. So it's a little bit of a shorter stint there for Kevin Budgeon. Maybe his tires are going a bit quicker than he was hoping for. Haven't talked too much about Kevin Budgeon. Quite a quick racer. At the 23-minute mark, excuse me. Adam Lyle out front, Josh Nesbitt in the Porsche in 2nd place, Ollie Smith in the Mercedes in 3rd place, Matt Raid in the BMW M4 GT3, Rick Corvers closely behind them, a very hotly contested 3rd place, 3rd through 5th, covered by less than a second, and Arno Veerman 6th, Sewell 7th, Ollie Hutton in 8th, closely followed by Ben RS, and a further 18 seconds back, Madhouse in the top 10, Kevin Budgeon coming in for that pit stop, and he will be heading back out on track there in just a bit. Looks like the gap is growing, but not as much as you would expect. Josh Nesbitt about 1.5 seconds behind Lyle, but it only takes half a second to win the race there as long as you're across the line first, of course. So we have a look here at Arno Veerman, a 140.142. I believe that lap time may be one of the quickest of the day for him. Looking quite strong here. Yeah, Arno Veerman, improvement in the first sector. Sewell also running quite quick times. Max running the quickest time he's done all day. So we have a look at here at Madhouse in 10th position. Ben RS all over the back of Ollie Hutton. And again, that battle for third place really, as we have almost two spinners at the same time. That is the KFC, that is Madhouse for 10th place, and that is Max, I believe that's Max Looting in the 777. And he is, apologies, there are two, looks like there's two 777 Aston Martins. Mac Looting in the pits at the moment. Ben RS also in the pits. That will give Ollie Hutton a breather for the first time in a while. Ollie Hutton can actually look out of his front windshield, depending on where you are in the first parts of the world. Oh, we have a spin there. Or apologies, we have contact. Contact in the hairpin. That was Matt Raid and Ollie Smith, and they're still both in the hairpin. Ollie Hutton coming around. Smith has gotten going. Raid is trying to get going now. Trying to have a look and see. It looks like Ollie Smith rather, is going to be letting him back by. It seems that there's a little bit of self-steward there. Or apologies, Matt Raid is going to make sure that Ollie Smith gets going in. So both drivers falling. Ollie Smith down to 7th behind the other Ollie Hutton, not the other, but and 8th place Matt Raid. Contact. It looked like Raid had his nose in there, and Ollie Smith turned. So didn't quite catch the second half of that corner, but the first half seemed to be a move from Raid on Smith, and it didn't work out for either. Definitely unfortunate. The gap at the front, Lyle pulling out another maybe 7-8 tenths on Josh Nesbitt. It's ballooned. I say ballooned. At about 2.5 seconds there. As we have a look at Nesbitt right there, running well. His rears seem to be having a particularly hard time being asked to do what they're told, and not being quite as compliant. Certainly not as compliant as it was, as we see Madhouse diving into the pits here for their pit stop. Anybody else taking the pits? Matt Raid into the pits. Madhouse in the pits. And Max Looting still in the pits. He's been in there for around 3 minutes. There may be an issue going on there for Max Looting. As we have a look here, other close gaps. 1.2 seconds the gap, 4th to 5th. Veerman and Sewell, apologies. Siskel Sewell running in 5th. A strong performance. He's running better than he did the previous race there. 139.5 last lap. And I believe he's also made up a couple of positions as well. And let's see here. Last lap for Adam Lyle, 137.8. Oh, apologies. Crash here. Adam Lyle and Max. We've got all sorts of stuff going on here. Looks like out of the final corner, I believe there was a back marker, and we had some issues with clearing them. What is the gap at the front? Looks like Adam Lyle back to 2nd place. Josh Nesbitt chooses this time. It looked like he was in the pits. It's now gone away. Yeah, it looks like he is in the pits. Apologies. Josh Nesbitt not in the pits, in the lead in the 911 in that GT3R. Adam Lyle in 2nd place. It seemed to have contact. There's 1.6 seconds splitting them, and it's dropping 2 tenths every other second. So it looks like Nesbitt may be slowing down and allowing Lyle through. And Lyle is now back through. I believe there was an issue with Max in the darker of the two 777 Aston Martins. As we pick up Kevin Budgeon, it looks like, we have Ollie Smith having some contact as well. Ollie Smith running in 4th. Oh, as everyone heads in pits. Veerman in the pits. Smith in the pits. Corver in the pits. Budgeon in the pits. All sorts of pit lane action here with 17 minutes to go here in race 2 of the ARS GT3 Sprint Cup, round 3 here at Hockenheim. Adam Lyle hits the front again after that collision with a back marker, it seems. We don't have confirmation on that. And Josh Nesbitt seems to be making inroads there. He's half a second now. Josh Nesbitt seemingly allowing Lyle back through. Kevin Budgeon inheriting 3rd place here, but I don't believe that he's made his stop. And we have everybody heading out of the pits now, so they'll cycle back through. As we have we have Adam Lyle in the pits. So our leader comes into the pits. Josh Nesbitt now in free air. Have a look here at Rick Corvers in that 296. Josh Nesbitt out in the lead in free air. Adam Lyle in second place still. Kevin Budge in third. Rick Corvers, as we're having a look at here, only 1.5 seconds behind Arno Veerman. And Sewell about 5 seconds back from there. Matt Raid not too far behind Ben ARS. They were having a bit of a scrap earlier on. Ollie Smith right behind Ollie Hutton. So Smith and Hutton quite close. Raid running in ninth, already having made his stop. So we have Nesbitt out front, yet to pit. Lyle in second. And the gap between them, 44.6 seconds. From race one, we had around a 30 to 35 second gap needed to make a pit stop and emerge in front of another car. It looks like Josh Nesbitt has that in spades from the timing screen I'm having a look at. And Kevin Budgeon gaining on Adam Lyle, it seems. He's about 7 seconds back from the Aston Martin driver. As Mac Looting heads into the pits there for the lighter of the the lighter of the 777 Aston Martin GT3s. 138.2 seems to be the quicker times, although Lyle has run a 137.6, which is significantly faster, almost almost half a second quicker than anybody else running. There's Adam Lyle here on our screen, who, from the way that it's looking, if Josh Nesbitt can continue to extend this stint, Lyle will be taking over at the front again after having that contact. Again, 43 seconds or so. So he looks like he may have about 10 seconds in hand over Josh Nesbitt, according to my timing screens, when Nesbitt comes into the pits. As we see Matt Raid here, winner of race one. Very comfortable win for him, just putting in the laps at the moment as well. Sewell, another quiet race here in 5th place, doing significantly better than the previous race. Rick Corvers looking for potentially a podium today. Gaps are all relatively large here. Closest gap we have at the moment is about two and a half seconds to maybe 3 seconds. Arno Veerman to Matt Raid and Matt Raid to Ben ARS. So the battle for 6th, about 4 seconds covering those 3 drivers. And now we have a look here at Madhouse, looking to make up a little bit of time, get in the top 10 there. And we have Max crash with Kevin Budgeon here. So it looks like Kevin Budgeon potentially lapping. He's in the podium positions. We'll have to see if he's still running all right. Kevin Budgeon. Oh, and there's Rick Corvers up into 3rd place. So Kevin Budgeon having an issue with potentially one of the back markers. We did not get us. Oh, and there's Max Raid around in the approaching the stadium section. Max Raid, our winner of race 1, backwards in the gravel in the stadium section. That's thrown complete chaos to this. Josh Nesbitt still out front. You have to take a stop, it appears. Lyle in 2nd place with some strong pace. Kevin Budgeon 3rd with a little bit of difficulty with the back markers. And Rick Corvers now falling back behind Sewell. So, all sorts are going on here. As Max Looting back into the pits, we have a look at Josh Nesbitt, potentially our 2nd place man at the moment. We expect him most likely to be coming into the pits anytime now. Again, 12 minutes, and there he does. He dives into the pits, that nice wide entry. So he will come in Nesbitt should retain the lead, rather. Apologies, I'm backwards on that. Nesbitt should retain the lead, as Adam Lyle has 43 seconds to make up on Nesbitt. There's only about 30 to 35 seconds lost in the pits. Nesbitt should have between 5 and 10 seconds if everything goes well between, as we have a look at the Aston Martin man. Lyle putting in a strong performance, but again, a win here could elude him in Hockenheim. He may be having a trickier time than we're thinking, as we see Sewell up into the podium positions. As you have a look here at Arno Veerman, again, very few track limit violations, very few drive-throughs, but a lot more action. We've got some back markers making it interesting for the leaders as these BMWs seemingly glued together. This is Sewell and Budgeon fighting for that final podium position. That third place would be a huge boost to either of their championships here in the GT3 Cup for ARS. As we have a look now at Ollie Smith. Ollie Smith looking extremely strong earlier on and fighting for the podium spot, and seemingly, if you could call it, best of the rest there behind Lyle and Nesbitt. And now it looks like Nesbitt has come out of the pits and is 2.5 behind Adam Lyle. So it seems that my pit delta is a little bit off there. So it seems that around the 40 to 45 second mark was what was required. So Lyle comfortably in the lead there, 2.5 seconds, if you can call that comfortable, especially with Josh Nesbitt on your tail. And Sewell and Kevin Budgeon are all over the back of each other. There's nothing to separate them as they head into the hairpin. This is for the podium position. Matt Ray back in 11th, having the opposite of the kind of race that he had last time, as the two BMWs here are fighting that could bring Rick Corvers into this. He has 3 seconds as we 3 seconds to this battle for third. This could really bunch up. Ben RS also within a shout, potentially could pick something up if it all comes to blows or tears for the two BMW racers, as Lyle checks out a bit from Nesbitt, another about second or so pulling away. Look here now at Ollie Smith. Again, very strong opening section of the race, that opening stint. It appears that all drivers have made their pit stops from what I can see on my information. Lyle holding a 2-second lead over Nesbitt as we dip below the 10-minute mark. So our leaders, first and second, Lyle and Nesbitt, well out front, as that drops down to 2 seconds now. Nesbitt using those fresh tires. He's got the rear underneath him a lot better now. 20 seconds back is Budgeon, but there's only a handful of seconds between Budgeon and the 3 cars behind him. So we have a look at the Porsche down into the hairpin. And here's Ben RS on Corvers here, closing in. Ben RS, of course, having that spin at the very beginning of the race, costing him, really changing the whole complexion of his race. Having a look now, it's under 2 seconds up at the front. Lyle and Nesbitt, hammer and tongs, as they say. 1.7 the gap now down to, or up to 1.9 again. Lyle is not getting away, and Nesbitt seems to have the tire advantage. He stayed out longer. He went for a different type of strategy, really deep into, as we go deep with the Mercedes man into the hairpin there. That was Ollie Smith in the number 9 blue and white Mercedes, running decently in 8th, but he would most likely want more there. But yeah, going back to that battle with Ben RS and Rick Corvers, really close to call there for 6th, 5th, 4th, and 3rd. Look at that Kevin Estre livery there on Nesbitt's 992 GT3R. The race seemingly kind of settling down here for the moment. There's only 8 minutes left to go here. This is really coming into the final stages. If you're going to pull the pin and get a gap to the guy behind, or get a gap to close down to the guy in front, it's going to need to be now with around 7.5 to go here in race 2 of the of round 3 here at Hockenheim for the ARS GT3 Cup. Again, as you see Ben RS closing in and Madhouse closing in on Ollie Hutton. Seems that a lot of Audis closing in on Mercedes-Benzes. That seems to be the trend here at the moment for this phase of the race. Wide entry for Ollie Hutton. It looks like potentially Ollie Hutton's got some kind of engine issue. Looked like he got a good exit out of that corner. He seems to be going just fine, but it seems like Madhouse had a really good drag out of that final corner. Seems like they're looking all right. A 141.9, basically a 142 last time around for Madhouse, so a couple of seconds off the pace of the leaders, but that seems to be doing him just fine with his battle for Ollie Hutton. So we have a look out front, Lyle and Nesbitt. That is hovering around 2 seconds. There is our pole sitter for both races and our second place finisher for last round. Fastest lap of the race currently for Lyle, and fastest lap of the race for the race 1 as well. So he's been the man with the pace in hand. He has really been the standout in terms of overall pace, but trying to convert this into the win that eluded him last round here as we're hitting the 6-minute mark. And again, Ben ARS not really able to make too many inroads on Rick Corvers. He's holding strong. These drivers extremely professional and doing quite well to race well with one another. A couple of switchback moves we saw earlier in the race, particularly with that move that we happened off camera with Matt Raid there. And it looks like Matt Raid has fallen back now. He's 34 and a bit seconds off the back of Ollie Hutton. So Matt Raid, again, having the opposite race. The highs and lows of motorsport, winning in race 1 comfortably, but as we have the 2 left tires in the dirt there for Ollie Hutton as Matt House gets around. That's for 9th place. We're having a look here at Matt Raid. Yeah, back and forth. And but I'm assuming he's hoping for anything at this point to try to get back up in potentially to the top 10. He's got a long way to go, and we are now down to 5 minutes in this 40 seconds. As Matt Ray drive through for cutting, I said it before. I just said it. Backwards race here for Matt Ray. It's just going from bad to worse. And as I say that, Nesbitt pushing hard, trying to make some inroads. It's 3 seconds. Adam Lyle pulling away as Arno Behrman has a drive-through for cutting. Matt Lyle also has a drive-through, so Matt Ray serving that penalty at the moment. Nesbitt penalizing his tires, really hanging the rears out, as looks like Matt House has resumed hostilities with Hutton. He's closing in now. Deep on the brakes, great apex, a little puff of smoke from that left front unloaded tire. There's only 4 minutes left here, and doesn't Madhouse know it? Doesn't Hutton know it? There's only 4 minutes for Madhouse, but there's plenty of time for there's too much time for Hutton, as it looks like Madhouse has gotten around him. And Kevin Budgeon sitting here in 3rd place. What a great result that would be for him if he is able to pull that off. And yeah, definitely a great result if he can get that podium there. Sewell not terribly displeased with 4th place at the moment. He is not out of the woods yet, though, because Rick Corvers and Ben RS very close behind as they are heading into a little kind of side straight that would put them back onto the approach for the stadium section. We're having a look here at the BMW of Kevin Budgeon. Again, really doing well. You can see the tires fall away from the drivers here as we head into the stadium section. The tighter of the banked corners here now over the small, if you could even call it a crest, a little left-right before the 2 right-handers onto the start-finish straight. We are riding on board with Rick Corvers. All we can really see is the rear of a BMW of Sewell, as he's really struggling with those rears, and doesn't Corvers know it. He's got a great view of that. We can ride on board the 5th place man. We're having a look here at Lyle on your main picture, but the picture-in-picture on the left, Corvers using all the road and then some. Not flashing the lights, but just turning them on, letting him know that there is a car behind you. His intentions to get around as we have a couple of puffs of smoke into turn 3 and down to the side straight. That 69 Red Bull liveried 296. And now down to one of the better opportunities for, he's having a look, late on the brakes, down the inside. BMW cutting back there. Corver's down the inside, budging. Gonna see if he can out-drag him. We've seen this move multiple times, but the trick is, can you get that overlap? And yes, he can. Sewell just sneaking in front of Corver is going to make him have to either do something miraculous into this left-hander. Again, a good braking zone. Ben RS, all sorts of deep braking there. Maybe he can gather it back up for a good run through this right-hander, but Corver is really smelling blood in the water as Sewell is losing those rear tires, specifically probably the left rear most likely. As Sissel Sewell drive-through for cutting. Sewell has received a drive-through, and Sewell will need to serve that as soon as possible. This gives Corvers the opportunity to take fourth. I don't think they know it yet, and Rick Corvals and Sewell are still battling. This is really bringing Ben RS back into this, and down the inside, and he can't even get into the pits. And now it looks like Ben RS is going to have a run on Corvers as Sewell hits the pits for that corner cut infringement. And now the Audi is basically pushing the Ferrari down the main straight there, and over the corner, over the first corner, curbing. And now Rick Corvers, as I say it, drive through for cutting on that front straight. And now he's going to pull off to the side and give time, or give the position to Ben RS, unless he's going to have a huge swoop around the outside. Looks like he's going to try for the outside move. Fantastic racecraft. But unfortunately, with 40 seconds to go, right at the death here, Rick Corver's looking at a fourth place position, and I do not know what it's going to put him. Still battling it out here. Fantastic racing for us, but it really is going to be a shame for the Ferrari man. Looks like Ben RS will have fourth place wrapped up as Kevin Budgeon. Very, very good looking there in third place. Handful of seconds ticking down here as Adam Lyle coming around the final corner. Is he going to leave it late and try to cross with no time remaining, as we're still battling Ben RS down the inside for fourth place? Looks like Nesbitt's 3 seconds back, can't do much, as there's 2, 1 second, and it's over, and Lyle crosses the line, and that's going to finish the race there. Nesbitt really giving him a run for his money as those rears were starting to come away. Kevin Budgeon, I'm sure, will be perfectly pleased with this podium position. Great result for him, really hanging in there. Similar to Ben RS in the final race there, as across the line, Kevin Budgeon and Ben RS and Rick Corvers. I don't believe Corvers is going to be coming into the pits. I think he's just going to accept that he's got that penalty and cross the line. Not sure what the ramifications, but around the final corner, Ben RS in fourth place. Rick Corvals 22nd time penalty to final time, so Rick will finish in fifth at the moment. We'll have to see as they come across the line. Matt Raid in sixth. Ollie Smith crossing the line. He'll be sixth. Sewell seventh. Matt Raid eighth, it looks like. And we're looking at the ninth place man, Arno Veerman, having a better time this round than the previous race we saw early around the final corner. And the Liqui Audi, excuse me. Well, my goodness. And here's Ollie Hutton having, again, similar to Matt Raid, a completely different type of races. It looks like he's potentially out of fuel, some kind of power issue. He's having to limp around. He's relatively on the racing line. I'm assuming he'll move out of the way if he needs to. Yeah, he takes a wide line through the final corner. The KFC Audi of Madhouse is going to get up next to him, and they're going to cross the line Le Mans style. Haven't seen that one. And Madhouse with 0.01. Well done, gentlemen, for that synchronized maneuver. I have no idea what could have happened there. We'll have to have a look and see if there were any issues as Ollie celebrates his fine work of letting Madhouse beat him by 100th. But that is the end of race 2. Lyle taking the win that eluded him in the first round. Nesbitt in second place, keeping him honest. Definitely a lot of action happening. A lot less corner cuts, but they started to come out as we saw near the end of the event, and trying to get that extra couple tenths, trying to make a maneuver, and very, very good racing. And it looks like we have Adam Lyle joining us here, the winner of race 2 in the ARS GT3 Sprint Cup round 3 here at Hockenheim. Adam, pretty eventful race. How was it from your spot?
Yeah, it was going quite well. The first half went as planned. Obviously, I like to bring my tyres in a little bit first few laps, so Josh got past. But as long as I could stay within distance of him, I knew I stood half a chance. Yeah, just a shame there was a bit of an incident with a back marker, but fair play
Yeah,
to
I was going to ask.
the.
We were unsighted with that. What was going on at the time? It seemed that you were in front of Nesbitt, and you were significantly further back, so it seemed like Nesbitt let you back through.
Yeah, I was coming around the outside of a back marker, and I got a bit of a clip. It spun me around. It then spun me in front of Nesbitt. He then hit me as well. We got going, and fair play to him. He never had to give that place back, but he did, so it's good sportsmanship, that.
Definitely a little bit of self-stewarding there. But yeah, it looked like you were running Nesbitt pretty hard for the especially during the second half of the race in both sets of his tires, because he went very deep on the first set. It seemed like he was having a hard time with his rears, particularly most likely the left rear. Were you having any tire issues?
Um, Not tyre issues, no. After the collision, I had some severe front end damage, so I was struggling into corners a little bit. It was probably pushing the fronts on a bit too much. So I had to take it a little bit careful, because I ended up with maximum track limits I was allowed before a drive through. So it was just a case of try and get a couple of seconds lead at least, and just try and cruise home, really.
Well, it seems like Hockenheim threw just about everything it could, and Nesbitt as well threw about everything it could at you, and it looked like you had it pretty under control, even with that backmarker moment.
Yeah, like I say, he didn't need to let me back through. Obviously, none of the collision was his fault, but fair play. Other than that, he would have won that by miles if he didn't slow down.
Well, yeah, definitely. It looked like you were on pace and in race 2, the class of the field there. Adam, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thank you.
Well, that is it here from the ARS GT3 Cup here in Hockenheim. This is round 3. Matt Raid, your winner of race 1. Race 2, Adam Lyle, taking fastest lap, and a little bit of a difficulty getting around the back markers, but was able to hold off Nesbitt in second in the Porsche. And we'll have a look to the next round here at Magny Core. There we go. Apologies for that. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the next round.